People, whatever they do it always for a reason. No? Have you ever met anybody who do something without a reason? Only not reasonable people who do things without any reason. And we see that a lot in the world nowadays. You see how they destroy the world without any reason. In reality, whatever you do, there's always an aim behind. Because also, life itself have a dharma. No? How many will say, yes, we are doing our dharma? Very few. I had a conversation when I was traveling. I asked somebody, what are you doing? I said, what can we do? We are just, we are doing engineer. Because all the people from India, they're all engineer. If not engineer, yeah, doctor. If you are not doctor, you are a banker. It is something. And I was wondering, yes, it's true. But what about the engineering of life itself? Because life is also a great engineer in itself. How is life really? How is our body functioning? We take that often for granted. We take life for granted. We take most of the things that come into our life for granted. Our relationship, we take it for granted. We take our work for granted. We take our life for granted. We take everything for granted. When do you come to that realization that, yes, now I have to start living, is only when you don't have it. When it's a bit too late, say, now I want to live. We say we are Vaishnava. No? What is that? No. Often I said it. Actually, being a Vaishnava, being somebody on the spiritual path, being somebody on the path of Bhakti, the whole worship of Mahavishnu, what is the word Vishnu stand for? The one who is the giver of happiness, the one who bestows that grace of real joy. So when you call yourself a Vaishnava, you have to have a certain joy, which is different from what the world is giving. And that joy is not for what the attire that we are wearing outside, is not the tilak that we are wearing or the kantimala, no. That is the point of realizing that you are a human being. And that human beings, have been covered with so many ego identity, which we have to remove. And being a Vaishnava, we have thrown ourselves to the lotus feet of Sri Hari. You are worshipping the lotus feet of Bhagavan Krishna earlier, doing Abhishekam of Bhagavan Krishna. To put water on it, yes, it's fine. But we have to get rid of all our unwanted things, And the biggest things that stop between Bhagavan and you is the ego. And this is one thing that we don't want to let go. We don't want to let go of our ego identity. And that's what Bhagavan said, I want you to get rid of that. That's what the Satguru said. I want you to get rid of that. We have heard, to remove all the negative. But is it easy to remove that? No, it's not easy. That is why controlling of the senses is important. Controlling of what you see, what you hear, what you do. That is what is dear to you. That is what is close to you. That's what you can control about. But can you control the mind? It's very difficult. And that's what Bhagavan said. That's what I want. I want you to control the mind. For you to be able to call yourself a Vaishnava, to call yourself on the path of bhakti, your mind must transform. Nothing else. That is, you can do whatever you do. You can live your life the way you want. He just wants your mind. One thing he's asking. Can you give him that one thing? No, you can't. Because you're so attached to that, It's very difficult. Even those who worship continuously, once there was a discussion between Srihari Narayana and Maha-Lakshmi. And the discussion was very heated, actually. You see, they are both lying very serene and very nicely. Here they're not together, they're a bit... So Maha-Lakshmi, looking at Sri Narayana, said, "My Lord, why are you laughing?" I said, "I'm looking at all my devotees, they are doing japa continuously on my name, Namo Narayana, Sri Hari Narayana, and continuously absorbed in the remembrance of me. Look at them, how wonderful, to me, great joy to me to see them." And Maha-Lakshmi looked at him and said, "They are not your devotee. They are my devotee." "How come? But they are chanting my name." Okay, let's test them. So Bhagavan took an aspect of a Brahmin, came to this wonderful, beautiful temple of Bhagavan Krishna, and he approached the pujari, the head of the temple, and said, "Pujari ji, I want to do my dhyan here. And for that, I would need a place for 40 days to close myself in a room, and I should not be disturbed. And nobody should disturb me." Pujari said, "Oh, Brahman Devta, you are so nicely, please, I will give you a room." So he gave a beautiful room. He said, "I will not disturb you, I promise you." Said, "Yes, you promise?" "Yes, I promise." Bhagavan Vishnu, as the form of the Brahman, enter inside and the door closed. Meanwhile, Maha-Lakshmi and her servant came in the disguise of a queen. So they built a tent just outside the temple. The queen and the servant. But they will never go inside the temple. So Pujari will observe them. What are they doing? So the queen will be sitting and all the servant will be serving her. And they will be serving her in golden plate. Of course they are queen, in golden plate. But once she have eaten, the servant will take the plate and they will throw it outside. Interesting. Throw it outside. Pujari observed and went and asked, "Excuse me, who are you?" Said, "This is the queen." Said, "But please, can you come and have darshan inside the temple?" In the Bhagavan Krishna's temple. "Please come and have darshan." I said, "Yes." So then the pujari started thinking, these people, every time the queen eat, they throw all the dishes again, the utensils, everything is thrown, and they are made with gold. So I can be very rich by collecting all this. So before anybody else could take, so let me have a great idea. Said, okay, I will invite the queen. Why she have to stand outside in a tent when we have such a beautiful place? Please come inside here. So Pujari went and invited the queen. But the queen said to the Saki, please tell him I will stay here. I don't want to come inside. But if he's insisting, I will choose the room. With one condition, but I will choose the room. I said, okay, fine. Please, there's many rooms. So the queen went and chose exactly the room where the Brahman is. And he said, I want that room. But then the pujaris start thinking, but now I have already promised this man. But he's just a Brahmin, so please get rid of him. Knock at the door. From inside said, I told you, promised me you will not open the door, you will not disturb me. Said, well, situation changed. So because of the situation change, you have to vacate the room now. Brahman came out. Said, but you promised me. Said, yeah, but the queen is more important. The queen went inside. Brahman, the pujari was very happy. After the queen went inside, everything that was there disappeared. No utensil was there, no queen was there, no Brahman was there. So the pujari got shocked. Bhagavan, when they went back to Vaikuntha, Maha-Lakshmi stand there. What I told you. You think that these people are great bhaktas of yours? You see how quickly they have get rid of you? How quickly they broke the promise? How quickly they can forget about you? That's what you call great bhakta. This is very important to understand, you know. It's a very funny story, but this is the reality of people, you know. How quickly you can forget about Bhagwan, how quickly you can forget about your spiritual path the moment you step outside. Very quickly. Very quickly Maya will hug you and kiss you. And very quickly you fall into her trap. In Bhagavad it said, no? Those who have truly surrendered to me, Maya don't affect them. Maya don't come. Doesn't mean that Maya will not try. Maya will always try. But you have to come to that point of standing strong and keep observing yourself. Then only possible. When you stand strongly in anything that Bhagwan is giving you and recognizing that it is only His will in everything, perceived that it is only Him in everything, then you will be safe.